Okay, real talk. I used to think blackheads were just a dirt problem. Like, if I just washed my face more, scrubbed harder, used the right cleanser, they'd go away. I spent years going through that cycle. And then I learned something that completely changed how I think about my skin, and honestly, about my health altogether. So stick with me, because what I'm about to share is going to make so much sense. Let's start with the basics. What actually is a blackhead? Most people assume it's clogged dirt or bacteria sitting in your pore. But that's not quite right. A blackhead forms when your skin's oil, called sebum, gets trapped inside a pore that's open at the surface. Once that oil is exposed to air, it oxidizes and turns dark. That dark color, that's not dirt. That's oxidized oil. And if a thin layer of skin covers it instead, it stays white. That's your whitehead. Same root cause, just a slightly different outcome. So what causes all this excess oil in the first place? Here's where it gets really interesting. Research into blackheads consistently points to one specific type of fat that shows up in people who struggle with them. It's called palmitic acid. Now, despite the word acid, it's actually a saturated fat. It's the most abundant fat in the human body, and you'll also find it in things like butter, cheese, palm oil, and a lot of processed foods. But here's the part that blew my mind. Your body can make palmitic acid on its own, and it does this by converting excess sugar. When you eat more sugar than your body needs, your liver takes that overflow and turns it into fat. Specifically, palmitic acid. Now, palmitic acid isn't a villain on its own. Under normal circumstances, your body is supposed to convert it into another fatty compound, one that's unique to human skin and actually acts like a natural antibiotic. It protects your pores from inflammation and keeps acne-causing processes at bay. When that conversion happens smoothly, your skin stays balanced. The problem: that conversion doesn't always happen the way it should. Zinc, the missing piece. For that conversion to work properly, your body depends on a specific enzyme. And that enzyme needs one key nutrient to function: zinc. Zinc deficiency is incredibly common, and here's something wild. Blackheads are actually one of the most visible signs that your zinc levels are low. Think of them as your skin raising a little flag, saying, "Hey, something's off internally." Zinc does more than just support that enzyme, too. It also helps regulate androgens, the hormones, present in both men and women, that signal the oil glands to produce more sebum. So when zinc is low, androgens can spike, oil production goes up, and your pores are more likely to get congested. What depletes zinc? Excess sugar, alcohol, and highly processed foods. The same things that trigger blackheads in the first place. It's a cycle that feeds itself. The vitamin A connection. There's one more player in this story, and it's vitamin A. You might have heard of Accutane, a prescription medication used for severe acne. It's essentially a synthetic, very high-dose version of vitamin A. It works powerfully, but it comes with a long list of side effects that put a lot of people off, understandably so. Here's what's important to understand. Vitamin A is a master regulator of the oil gland. It has a direct role in controlling how much sebum your skin produces. But, and this is crucial, vitamin A cannot do its job properly without zinc. The two work together. So if you're supplementing vitamin A but you're zinc deficient, you're not going to see the results you're hoping for. One of the richest natural sources of both vitamin A and zinc together is liver. Now, I know, not everyone's excited about eating liver. If that's you, cod liver oil is a genuinely great alternative and provides a solid dose of vitamin A in a much more palatable form. The bigger picture: sugar and your liver. Here's the part of this that really puts it all together. When you consistently eat too much sugar, it doesn't just create excess palmitic acid. It also causes fat to build up in the liver. And your liver is one of the main storage sites for vitamin A in your body. When liver function is compromised by fat accumulation, your body struggles to properly utilize vitamin A, which then shows up as skin issues. Beyond that, Excess fat from the liver starts to spill into surrounding tissues and organs, which is what we call visceral fat. Blackheads, in this context, aren't just a cosmetic nuisance, they're a signal that something deeper in your metabolism may need attention. No amount of zinc or vitamin A will fully fix the problem if the root cause, excess sugar, is still there. The solution. So what actually helps? Reduce your sugar intake significantly. A low-carb or ketogenic approach works really well for a lot of people dealing with skin issues like this. Pair that with intermittent fasting to give your liver a chance to clear out. Focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. For zinc, your best sources are red meat and shellfish. For vitamin A, reach for cod liver oil or, if you can handle it, actual liver. These two nutrients together can make a noticeable difference in how your skin looks and feels. Your skin is communicating with you. Blackheads aren't just something to squeeze away, they're your body's way of telling you it needs something. And now you know what that something is. Feel free to ask if you'd like this formatted differently, adjusted in tone, or broken into sections for on-screen text or timestamp.